Of the topic is the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are most likely the most important excavation that was ever made in this country, or maybe around the world. We speak about an amazing discovery that caught the attention of the whole world. You don't have to be a Bible believer in order to understand how important that discovery was. And therefore, this lecture is going to speak about all kind of aspects about the Dead Sea Scrolls without touching its theology, with one exception. Since we're going to speak about few sects in Judea that no longer exist, and they developed their own understanding of the Word of God, we'll only focus on some of those. But this was indeed an amazing discovery, and there was a certain paradigm that people were holding on to for many, many decades, viewing the Dead Sea Scrolls, and this one was the following. The Dead Sea Scrolls were biblical texts and books of the Apocrypha that were written by a group of people called the Essenes who lived in the area of Qumeran and wrote the scrolls, lived in caves in the area, and hid them in those caves, and they were accidentally excavated in order to know about them today. That was the paradigm. Today, scholars are questioning that paradigm, and there are some much better ideas regarding the Dead Sea Scrolls. So the questions will speak about a lot of issues. Who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls, under what circumstances, but nobody questions one thing, the most important one: they are authentic. And therefore, this is a rare opportunity to speak about the Word of God in Hebrew. We did have quite a lot of information in Greek and in Latin about the holy books, but not much in Hebrew. And therefore, to be able to read scrolls written in Hebrew 2,000 years ago and compare them to today's Masoretic texts and see how similar or identical they are, this will be the big value of the Dead Sea Scrolls. We're going to speak about a few things, and let me go over the main points. Number one, a short introduction to explain what was the country like back then and what were some basic philosophies. We're going to speak about what are the Dead Sea Scrolls and where they were found, obviously, because more than one location was there in the Dead Sea's area that scrolls were found, although we're going to speak about only those that will take us back to the days of the Second Temple and not later scrolls, but later scrolls were found as well. We're going to speak about the excavations in the side of Qumeran and the caves as well. We'll speak about the scientific work. We answer the question, how old are the Dead Sea Scrolls? And there is an easy answer to give to that based on carbon dating and based on some other criterias. And we'll ask the question, is there a connection between the Dead Sea Scrolls and the ruins of Qumeran? Some people say yes, some people say no. What was found in the caves by the Dead Sea? Scrolls, obviously, but what kind of scrolls? How many? How they were written? What kind of ink? And not only scrolls were found, so we'll speak about some other discoveries that were made. Where were the Dead Sea Scrolls written? That's another puzzling topic that we do have some ideas about. For example, we're able to identify more than 150 handwriting styles, which indicates at least 150 different scribes. Now, scribes were not very common in Israel back then, so to assume that all those pieces were written in one location around the same time, that doesn't make that much sense anymore, and therefore we try to address that as well. We'll speak about the identity of the authors who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls and a few possibilities here. And of course, what can we learn from the Dead Sea Scrolls? But the most important thing that nobody challenges, and those questions are important, but they're not the main thing. The main thing is that the Dead Sea Scrolls are authentic and nobody questions the authenticity of the Dead Sea Scrolls.